Hey everyone, Darren here from the Music Vault. Um, yeah, I'm gonna try this again. I tried this twice last night and once tonight. Everybody's out. I'm the only one home. So I thought that I would do this video all over again. So what I'm doing is what the heck? What do I do with all my? There we go. So, all right. Sorry, you've seen the top of my bald head. Okay, so what I'm doing is I am doing strictly Canadian content. So, strictly Canadian bands from the biggest to the completely unknown and everything in between. Now, I'm not doing stuff like Bryan Adams, Colin James. I'm just going to keep it to stuff like that's metal and hard rock, punk, stuff that I'm really into. Because I could go on for 4 or 5 videos on all the stuff that I have that's Canadian. That like I have Burton Cummings, who was in the Guess Who, um, and then BTO, which was Randy Bachman's band, which he was in the Guess Who, and all sorts of stuff. So I thought I would just keep it to some punk, some metal, um, and the like. So without further ado, adjust my new reading glasses. I look they're a little dark, but they'll do. They're just reading glasses, so everything up front they look really big, and then everything distance, uh, no, they're not like my regular glasses. Okay, so anyways, let me find my. If I see me looking down, it's because I've got notes. I think I've got three or four parts. So if you know a Canadian band and you don't see it, just kind of linger around for the other couple of parts because I'll eventually get to them. I have a crap ton. I'm a huge kind of supporter of Canadian music. Canada has a plethora or a wealth of great music. Everything from R&B to death metal. Like we have everything. So, and some bands they're not, they have CDs out and you've never heard of them. So, this is the time that I'm gonna give to those bands, just like this one. First up, out of Toronto, formed in 1995, a band called Soulless. On Skin Mask Productions, made in Canada, Toronto, Ontario. These guys are from Toronto. They are kind of like let me get that out of the way, be like a Suffocation type death metal. Um, 2 LPs out. This one, I believe, is their second one, which is called Universal Bloodshed. Um, yeah, formed in 1995. Nobody that you probably recognize from the back. Yeah, let me see if I can. I'm getting a wicked glare, but yeah, nobody's probably noticed from the back. So, next up, punk band out of Hamilton, which is just kind of up the highway from me, about 45 minutes. Got some great record stores. Some record stores have closed, obviously, but some are still open. Awesome punk band, Forgotten Rebels. This album contains "Hello, Hello." I'm back again, and their big hit on this one was "Surfing on Heroin." There's a connection to this band later on in this video, and I'll show you. But these guys formed in 1977. They've got 7 albums out from Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, and they are punk. Funny story. I was at IKEA, which I'm not. I think there's IKEAs all over the world. I'm gonna guess and say, but we have one here in Burlington, which is about 50 minutes up the highway there, just outside of on the other side of Hamilton, between Hamilton and Toronto. And I'm standing there looking at the stuff, trying to buy something, and I just kind of glanced over, and who's standing beside me? Mickey DeSatis from Forgotten Rebels, buying furniture at IKEA. It was just priceless. I never said nothing to him, just because I didn't want to bug him. He was there with his wife buying furniture, so I just thought it was pretty funny. Up next, a band from Port Colborne, Ontario. These guys formed in 95, 94. We got these two albums out. They are Human Disorder, and this is Twisted Sane, and this one is Ugly Modern Aggression. This one sounds real Pantera-ish, Lamb of God-ish. Very groove metal orientated band. This one's better than this one. This one's their debut, but this came out on Blue Summit Record Company. This one came out in 98. This one came out in 96. So, this came out in 96. Can of Smashed Assholes production. Right. Anyways. Next up. 1989. We got 5 LPs from Sherbrooke, Quebec. Canada's very own death metal kings, Gorguts. And this is the Erosion of Sanity. I can't remember for the life of me their second album, I believe, or their first. I can't remember if this is their first. 93. So I can't remember if this is their first, if the other one is. I can't remember. Now I'm gonna have to look, because here we go. Considered Dead. That's the name of it. These two first albums are probably my favorite. But yeah, Gorguts. Next up, let me flip. Okay, next up, band from, these guys came from Kitchener, same as Helix, if I remember correctly. These guys came out in 89. One album. I saw these guys one time at Uncle Sam's in Niagara Falls. And Uncle Sam's was a split bar. The front portion of Uncle Sam's was called Samantha's, if I remember correctly, and it was a strip club. And the back end was where all the bands played. I saw Varga there. I saw Snakebite. I saw this band, Zero Option. Straight up heavy metal. I listened to this twice lately, and I kind of went, no, it's not as good as I thought it was. I don't think any of the guys went on to do anything after this. Came out on Fringe, and this one came out in 91. I would have saw them probably back in 89, 90, 91. When did they start? 89. So yeah, and if I remember correctly, I think they were billed as a Metallica cover band or a Metallica-like band. I can't remember. But I was listening to this just the other day, actually, and I'm kind of like, because some of these bands I had to refreshified my memory, because I haven't listened to them forever. A lot of these kind of, they sit in the collection, and you have so much to draw from. Now these guys I remember 100%. formed in 81 out of Toronto, Canada. They got about 20 albums out. Power, thrash, speed, heavy metal, whatever. And that's Anvil. Their first 4 albums, in my opinion, are the quintessential Anvil albums. The first 4 being this one, Metal on Metal, the next one, which is, I can never remember that one, and Strength of Steel. Those 4 are my favorite. Those 4 are with the original members. I can do a big history on it, but I'm not. But anyways, Anvil. And this one is Forged in Fire. This one has Shadow Zone, which is Shadow Zone and Future Wars. And Scenery. Those are my 3 favorite songs. Scenery being on the other album, which for the life of me I can't remember. But anyways, doesn't matter. Up next is a band out of Niagara Falls, formed in 1987. Got 3 albums out. I don't really think they made it to like huge status. Most people probably know who they are, but kind of like, oh yeah, I've heard of them. And that's Svengali. I don't remember anything. I don't have the 3rd album. I think it's called I think it's called just 3. But this one is their first album, and this has Under the Influence, Tie-Dyed Skies, and what was the other one? They had a big song, I think, Love Don't Live Here Anymore, I think was the one. And In My Garden, I think they had videos for on Much Music. They did a cover of Disgustine by Teenage Head on this, which is really good. Now, this band is linked to Forgotten Rebels because I guess his name's T.T. Mahar. T.T. Mahar. I'll tell you in a second. Yeah, no, I won't. I think his name is Sean Mahar. He plays bass for Forgotten Rebels now, and I think these guys have come back. They've done a bit of a resurgence, and I think they're playing. I don't know. I knew they were playing last year, I think, and their guitar player passed away I think about 10 years ago from cancer. So up next is a power speed thrash band from Ottawa, formed in 1984. They've got 19 albums out, and that's this band, Annihilator. And I think that Jeff Waters is probably one of the best guitar players in heavy metal. Man, that guy can friggin' play a guitar. I think between him and Dave Mustaine, I think those 2 guys are the most underrated guitar players, bar none. And this is Alice in Hell, which is Alice in Hell is probably the best song on the album that I can remember. I haven't listened to it in a while. I should, but now this band, this band, they formed in 99. They have 2 albums out of Toronto. A lot of bands come out of Toronto. I don't know. They're a heavy doom band, and they are Goathorn. I don't know if you can see the cover on this. There, I'll take it out of the sleeve. And this album is Storming the Gates, I believe. Yeah, Storming the Gates. Now, this band split up. Now, these guys were formed in, 99? Toronto. 2 albums. They split up, I don't know, I think a few years later. And in 2006, and 2 of the guys formed Cauldron. Now this one is, and I found this signed by the band maybe a year and a half ago. But yeah, these guys, Toronto, these guys got 5 albums out. They formed in '96. Two of the guys, this 6-song EP, two of the guys are from Goathorn. See, you can see the label, half star or whatever you want to call it. Yeah. So now this one, I know these guys were in well, it's a one-man band really. He's got a couple of studio guys sometimes. Formed in '91. This is technical death metal. It's got 4 albums out. These guys are a Christian band, and they're on Momentum Scandinavia Records. Momentum Scandinavia Records. And that is a band called Sympathy. These guys are complete and utter total death metal. Technical tech death, fast as lightning, death growl vocals, everything. It's actually as heavy as hell, really. Fast as lightning. Excellent. I highly recommend this. If you're into tech death, you'll love it. This one's just an EP, I think. Yeah, it's a 5-song, 6-song EP. I have everything that they put out. They're a fantastic band. Now this band, I was watching Much Music late at night, I don't know, 100 years ago, and this song came on. I'm like, oh my goodness, this song is awesome. They got 2 albums out. Another band from Ottawa. These guys formed in what did I say? 78, and they were only around till 87. So what? 7, 8, 9 years. They only did 2 albums. Their first album is a Korean import, and it is friggin' expensive. One day I'll buy it because it's great. They have a female singer, but that is Reckless. And if I remember correctly, this guy is the bass player. He went on, or this guy, one of these 2 guys, he's the bass player and he's the singer. One of these 2 guys went on to be in Witchfind, another Canadian, kind of like a new wave of British heavy metal kind of style band. I think they were called Witchfind or Witchfinder. I think Witchfinder. Don't quote me on it. But they had a song called Hot and Ready. It is awesome. The main guy in the band. I've had this album for years. And it is on, what label is it on? Quality Records. And that is out of Scarborough, Ontario. This is a Canadian pressing. I have the CD, which came out a number of years ago on Unidisc. But yeah, Steve Madden, guitars and vocals. So it's Steve Madden, who is in that band, Witch General? Yeah, Witch General. I can't remember. It's something. I don't have it. I've had it in my cart online a couple of times. Just haven't found it. All right, one more CD this video, and the rest is all vinyl. 97 they formed. Toronto, Ontario, another Toronto band, and that is Fear Disorder. Heavy groove metal, probably along the lines of like Pantera, that kind of style, Lamb of God, but more of the kind of like the deeper gruff vocals as opposed to the Randy Blythe high pitched squeals and screams, like kind of like the deeper Phil Anselmo stuff, not the high pitched screaming or anything like that. But this is a great album, Inner Age by Fear Disorder. Yeah. Now this one, the Zero Option, the Human Disorder, I I know the Zero Option, the head to, yeah, I these 3 albums. You're gonna have a hell of a time trying to find them because, like, I think this one came out independently. Yeah, 1996, Fear Disorder, the name of the band. They put it out independently, and yeah, I doubt very much you're gonna find it. It was recorded at Metalworks in Mississauga, Ontario, which is owned by Gilmore from Triumph. All right, out of Quebec City, one album formed in 87, and this is Canadian thrash band Dissection. Cover's a little stupid, but a buddy of mine got a hold of it somehow and gave it to me. This album came out in 1988, and it's the typical less popular kind of thrash metal. Very kind of, that style of photo was around back in the late 80s, early 90s. This is on the Fringe label. Final Genocide by Dissection. And yeah, like I said, the cover's kind of dumb. That cover's cool. I always like that kind of thing. And Napalm Death had a picture kind of like that as well. And I really dig those kind of pictures. All the tough guys gotta like the Stephen Pearcy inspired hairdo. But yeah. Okay. We're doing pretty good. We're only at 21 minutes. So, and I've got one more page. So I got, 5 albums? Okay. Again, out of Toronto. Shotgun Cure. I stumbled on this by accident because I thought the cover was cool. It is a little different for a metal record. Heavy metal green vinyl. And this is Amorphous by Shotgun Cure out of Toronto. Thrash band. Straight up thrash. Kind of in the vein of like Havoc. Like that style of, Lazarus AD kind of stuff. Havoc. Warbringer. Maybe that kind of style. I don't know if you can get this anymore either. I think it was a limited pressing to, 300 or something. Like I said, I just came across it at my local record shop. Somebody grabbed it and then I guess either didn't like it or whatever, but needed the money. So I ended up grabbing it. Next one is another Tech Death. These guys are amazing. Beneath the Massacre. 4 records, formed in 2004. These guys are out of Montreal, Canada, on Prosthetic Records. This vinyl is see-through. Funny thing is, I ordered this album a number of years ago, and I just ordered the standard black version because it was, I think, $5 cheaper at the time. And they sent me the clear version, and I was not sending it back. But I have since gotten a couple other Beneath the Massacre albums. Their EP and I think another full length. And if you like Origin, who else? Obscura, stuff like that, Tech Death. You'll love these guys. They're friggin' fantastic. Another Ottawa, Canada. I think you guys might know this one. I think you might have heard of it. Formed in 1980. They came out as Hellraiser in 78, I believe. 78. I think you'll know these guys. I'm not sure. Exciter. Anybody ever heard of them? This is the Unveiling the Wicked album. My favorite album is Violence and Force. It's the first album I ever heard from Exciter. Cut my teeth on it. And and I since have gotten Heavy Metal Maniac in the years that followed, Violence and Force, Unveiling the Wicked, and oh my goodness, what's the other one? I know you guys are saying it right now, and I just can't think of. No, I have the shirt. It's got the guy standing on the front like this with the sword. What the heck is the name of it? Anyways, yeah. Exciter. This is a double gatefold. It's a single album, but a double gatefold. Side heavy, side metal. There's always a lot of discrepancy with these guys, whether they were a power metal band, a straight up heavy metal band, or a speed metal band. I kind of put them at the power speed. They're back together now with Dan Beeler and Alan Johnson. And the guy from Banger TV, Banger Films, can't remember his name either. Long curly hair with beard, young guy. Anyways, I can't remember. All right, which brings me up to Beeler, which is Dan Beeler from Exciter. This is his solo album. Came out on High Roller Records. In what year did this come out? I don't know. I can't remember. Oh, 99. 99, I think this album came out. He had already long left Exciter by the time this came out. This guy looks like Wino from The Obsessed. But yeah, they only have the one. And last for this video, out of Guelph, Ontario, Canada, formed in 1993. They have 9 albums out by 2 different singers, a plethora of drummers, and I think the original bass player is back in the band now, and a young guy named Ryder Johnson's on drums. And that would probably be my most favorite Canadian speed metal band, Razor. I love this band. Dave Carlo, the only guy in the band has been on everything for the last, I want to say 30 years. Well, they came out in 83. So they're going on 41 years now? Jeez. 41? Yeah, 41 years. Holy mackerel, these guys are been around forever. Jeez. Anyways, I have, I think, every release from this band on CD, every release on vinyl, and I think I have 2 tapes of, whatever. So yeah, I freaking love it. They're like the Rush to me. They're like the Rush of thrash metal, speed metal, power metal. No, speed metal. Yeah, they're just the Rush of speed metal. Anyways, that is it for part 1. Hopefully you guys like this video. Let me know in the comments. Stir up some combo. Tell me some bands that you know that are Canadian. Tell me if you know any of these bands, if you don't know any of these bands. But yeah, there you go. I'll see you guys on part 2 of this. Okay, see you guys. Cheers.